investment. Welcome back to my channel. If you've ever felt like money just slips through your fingers no matter how hard you work, today's video is for you. Investment. I'm going to break down 9 practical steps that you can start implementing immediately to master your finances and get real results. This isn't theory. These are actionable strategies that can truly change your financial future. Before you can take control of your money, the very first step is awareness. Most people think they know where their money goes, but the reality is very different. Small, repeated expenses, the daily coffee, subscriptions you barely use, the occasional fast food run, these add up in ways that can completely derail your financial plans. The first step to mastering your money is simple: track every single dollar that comes in and goes out. This is not just a task for the highly disciplined. It's the foundation of financial freedom. Investment. Without knowing exactly where your money is going, any budgeting or investing you do will be based on guesswork, which almost always leads to mistakes. Start by listing all of your income sources. That includes your salary, side hustles, interest, dividends, and any irregular income. Once you know exactly how much money you have coming in, turn your attention to your expenses. Write down everything: rent, utilities, groceries, gas, subscriptions, eating out, entertainment, even small cash purchases. Don't estimate or round down. The goal is accuracy. Apps and spreadsheets are useful, but even a simple notebook works. What matters is that you have a clear picture of your cash flow. As you track your spending over a month, patterns will emerge. You might notice that a seemingly harmless 5 coffee every morning actually costs $150 a month, or that multiple streaming subscriptions you barely use add up to more than your utility bills. This awareness is powerful because it gives you insight into where your money is leaking. It's not about guilt, it's about information. Once you can see the flow of your money, you gain the ability to make intentional decisions rather than reactive ones. You can choose where your money goes instead of letting it vanish without thought. Tracking also helps you distinguish between necessary expenses and discretionary ones. Necessities like rent, utilities, groceries are unavoidable. Discretionary expenses, however, are choices, and choices can be changed. By identifying which spending categories are optional, you can prioritize what truly matters and cut out what doesn't. This is how people who feel broke every month suddenly find extra money to save and invest without needing a raise or a second job. The money was always there, they just didn't know how it was being spent. Another key benefit of tracking your spending is that it creates accountability. Seeing the numbers in black and white makes it easier to recognize bad habits and adjust them. For example, if you notice that you're spending hundreds of dollars a month on impulse purchases online, that realization alone can trigger a change. Awareness gives you control. Once you are tracking every dollar, it becomes easier to set realistic goals. Investment, like saving for an emergency fund, investing, or paying off debt. You can allocate funds intentionally instead of hoping you'll have money left over at the end of the month, a strategy that rarely works. Finally, tracking builds a mindset shift. Money is no longer an abstract resource that disappears mysteriously. It becomes something tangible, measurable, and controllable. You start to see the power of small decisions adding up over time. Investment. Each dollar tracked is a step toward mastery. Each adjustment a building block of financial discipline. When you combine this awareness with consistent budgeting, saving, and investing, you've taken the first major step toward financial independence. In short, tracking every dollar isn't just about numbers. It's about awareness, clarity, and control. It's about knowing exactly where your money is going so you can make intentional choices that align with your financial goals. Without this first step, everything else, budgeting, investing, paying off debt, becomes significantly harder. With it, you create a foundation of knowledge that transforms your relationship with money and sets the stage for lasting financial success. Debt can feel like an invisible weight, constantly holding you back even when you earn more or save diligently. High interest debt, especially from credit cards or payday loans, is the kind that grows faster than most people realize. Every month, if you only pay the minimum investment, the interest accumulates and the principal barely decreases. This creates a cycle that can take years to escape, and it's one of the most common reasons people struggle financially. Investment. The good news is that debt isn't permanent. It's entirely manageable if approached strategically and intentionally. The first step is to make a complete list of all your debts, including balances, interest rates, and minimum monthly payments. Seeing everything in one place transforms a vague, stressful feeling into a clear, actionable plan. This list allows you to prioritize. The strategy most effective for maximizing results is focusing on high interest debt first. This is where your money can have the biggest impact. Paying off these debts aggressively saves more in interest over time than spreading payments evenly across all debts. Next, set a realistic plan for paying more than the minimum each month. Even small extra amounts make a difference, but consistency is key. When possible, funnel any bonuses, tax refunds, or unexpected cash windfalls directly toward these debts. The faster you reduce the principal, the less interest accrues, and the faster you gain financial freedom. Consider using methods like the avalanche approach, which targets debts by interest rate, or the snowball approach, which targets the smallest balances first to gain momentum. Both work, but the choice depends on your psychology and what keeps you motivated. Cutting discretionary spending can accelerate debt repayment significantly. Identify areas where money can be temporarily redirected. For example, reducing entertainment expenses, dining out less frequently, or postponing luxury purchases can free up substantial amounts to put toward debt. The key is temporary sacrifice with long-term gain. This is not about eliminating enjoyment from life. It's about prioritizing financial freedom over short-term indulgence. Automation can help maintain discipline. Setting up automatic payments ensures you never miss a due date, avoiding late fees and additional interest. At the same time, keeping track of progress is crucial. Watching your balances shrink month after month provides psychological reinforcement, making it easier to stay committed. Finally, understand that eliminating debt is not just a financial move, it's a mindset shift. Paying off high interest obligations changes the way you view money, teaches patience and discipline, and prepares you for wealth building. Each dollar redirected from interest payments towards savings or investments accelerates your financial growth. When the debt is gone, the money that was once trapped in interest can now work for you. Whether through investing, saving, or building multiple income streams, successfully eliminating debt requires planning, focus, and commitment. By prioritizing high-interest obligations, paying more than the minimum, temporarily cutting discretionary spending, investment, and automating payments, you take control of your finances and pave the way for long-term wealth and freedom. Once your budget is under control and high-interest debt is being eliminated, the next step is to make your money work for you through investing. Many people think investing is complicated or risky, but the truth is that smart, consistent investing is one of the most reliable ways to build long-term wealth. The key is to start early, remain disciplined, and focus on strategies that align with your goals and risk tolerance. Investing is not about chasing quick wins or trendy stocks. It's about creating a system that grows your wealth steadily over time. The first principle of smart investing is diversification. Putting all your money into a single stock or asset class is risky because markets fluctuate. Diversification spreads risk across multiple investments, balancing potential growth with stability. Common options include index funds, exchange-traded funds, ETFs, and a mix of stocks and bonds. Index funds are particularly effective for most people because they track the market, offer low fees, and historically provide solid long-term returns. This approach allows your money to compound over time without requiring you to constantly monitor individual investments. Another important aspect is consistency. The habit of investing regularly, even with small amounts, compounds into significant wealth over the years. Automating contributions to investment accounts ensures you remain consistent, whether the market is up or down. This also removes emotional decision-making. Investment, which is one of the biggest obstacles for new investors. Trying to time the market or chasing short-term trends often leads to losses. Consistent investing over the long term allows you to ride out market fluctuations while steadily growing your portfolio. Understanding the power of compounding is crucial. When you reinvest dividends and earnings, your money grows exponentially, not linearly. Even small investments can become substantial over time because each gain generates its own gains. The earlier you start, the greater the impact of compounding, which is why starting with modest amounts is better than waiting to invest large sums later. Time, patience, and consistency are far more important than trying to get rich quick. It's also essential to align your investments with your financial goals and risk tolerance. Younger investors can generally afford to take more risk, focusing on growth-oriented assets, while those closer to retirement may prioritize stability and preservation of capital. Regularly reviewing your portfolio ensures it remains aligned with your objectives and helps you make informed adjustments when necessary. Finally, education plays a vital role. Understanding the fundamentals of investing, like the difference between stocks, bonds, and mutual funds, or the impact of fees and taxes, empowers you to make better decisions. Knowledge reduces fear and increases confidence, making it easier to stick with your plan. Investing smartly is a combination of discipline, consistency, and education, and it's one of the most powerful tools for turning financial control into long-term wealth and freedom. Mastering money isn't just about knowing where it goes, eliminating debt, or investing wisely. It's about developing the discipline and habits that make those strategies sustainable over time. Financial discipline is what turns short-term actions into long-term results. Without it, even the best plans fail because human nature tends to favor immediate gratification over delayed rewards. The goal is to create routines that consistently reinforce good money management until they become second nature. allowing you to make smart choices automatically rather than relying on willpower alone. The foundation of financial discipline starts with setting clear, measurable goals. Whether it's building an emergency fund, saving for a down payment, or growing an investment portfolio, specific goals provide direction and motivation. Breaking larger goals into smaller, achievable milestones makes progress visible and reinforces positive behavior. Tracking these milestones regularly allows you to celebrate wins, adjust strategies when necessary, and maintain momentum over the long haul. Another key aspect is controlling spending habits. Discipline doesn't mean deprivation. It means intentionality. Every purchase should serve a purpose and align with your broader financial objectives. This requires self-awareness and occasionally saying no to instant gratification, like unnecessary upgrades, impulse buys, or subscriptions you rarely use. By consistently questioning spending decisions, you gradually train yourself to prioritize value over convenience, building habits that free up money for saving and investing. Automation is a powerful tool for creating disciplined financial habits. Automating bill payments, savings contributions, and investment transfers reduces the chance of human error and eliminates the temptation to spend money earmarked for other purposes. When these processes happen automatically, financial discipline becomes effortless, and your money starts working in your favor without constant attention. Over time, automated systems reinforce consistency, which is the backbone of long-term financial success. Regular monitoring and reflection are equally important. Reviewing your budget, investment performance, and net worth provides accountability and highlights areas for improvement. Discipline isn't about rigid rules. It's about staying aware, adjusting when necessary, and learning from both successes and mistakes. Journaling or tracking spending patterns can help identify hidden leaks or opportunities to optimize your financial strategies. Investment. The habit of reflection keeps you engaged with your finances and ensures your actions remain aligned with your goals. Finally, cultivating patience and delayed gratification is essential. Wealth rarely appears overnight, and disciplined habits compound over time. Small, consistent actions like contributing to savings, reducing debt, and investing may seem insignificant day to day, but they accumulate into substantial results. The more you internalize these habits, the less you rely on luck or motivation, and the more financial control becomes a natural part of your life. Building financial discipline and strong habits transforms money management from a stressful task into a structured, predictable system. By setting clear goals, controlling spending, automating processes, monitoring progress, and practicing patience, you create a framework where good decisions happen naturally. Over time, these habits compound just like investments, giving you lasting freedom, security, and the confidence to make your money truly work for you.